Creme de la Creme is one of the events what we are doing across the year. The event is actually a distribution platform, and the very reason why we are doing it that we have to find out the way how to distribute art house film or European films or festival films creatively. Why? Because we are having a constraint of the space. We are not having a capacity to put very often our films into the multiplexes, but very often into the normal art house cinemas as well. They have a problem with the space. So we have to invent the way how to put together not just one, not just two, but around 10 films, glue them together by naming them, and provide the distribution platform for the distribution of those films across the territories. And one of these events is called Creme de la Creme. The event is about the French films only. That's actually the event which is having the 4th edition this year. And during the month of Francophonia, which is March, across the cinemas in Slovakia as well as in Czech Republic, we are providing the distribution platform for distributing of the French films. So this is Creme de la Creme. Creme de la Creme because it is indeed a selection of the best French films which were produced last year. And the response of Slovak audience is actually very high. And we have to really thank the French Institute of cooperating with us in terms of the marketing and in terms of the promotion of this. Actually, we are having a press conference very soon, and Creme de la Creme is going to be in the cinemas within the period of a week, and I believe it's going to be successful as last year. This is actually our invention and the capability to do it. And I have to say with a little proud that there is no other company most likely in the world, even to say this is not an exaggeration, which is capable to combine the cinema event or cinematic event with the VOD platform as well as with the linear television. So Film Europe is having such a capacity. And any single event what we are doing, including Creme de la Creme, is having 3 levels of the distributions. One is cinemas, which is well known and everybody can imagine that. The second is the VOD, transactional VOD, with our good partners, namely O2 and T-Com in Czech Republic and in Slovakia. They are putting together the group of the French film in this very case. And they are providing, with the synergy of the Creme de la Creme in the cinemas, the platform for consuming or pursuing the reception of the French film in this very amount is very high. So it is very natural to put it together, which is very exceptional, and I have to say indeed rare, is that we are doing it together with the linear television as well. And the Film Europe channel and Festival Cinema channel is actually programming in this very month of March the French film only. I mean, the very idea is to have any single month across the year one dedicated event. And we have already 75% of the year already covered. Now let me actually go through this. The January is about the Scandinavian film, so we have a Scandi. Once again, the festival in cinemas, VOD and television. February, since we are in Berlinale, unfortunately we cannot do it, so February is kind of open, but we are trying to invent something. For March, we are having Creme de la Creme. For April, it's going to be a 2nd edition of the very special project called Weird Europe. It's a weird and special and kind of edgy films from the European continent. Ulrich Seidel is going to be premiered. Safari, The Row from the French cinematography. The films which are slightly edgy are put together, are once again in the bracelet of of the VIR Europe. The Prague is the main, I would say, center for the VIR Europe, obviously, and the rest of Czech Republic is following. For April, we are just now actually inventing the reminiscence of the Cannes Film Festival in the dedicated cities which are cooperating with us. So in Košice, in eastern part of Slovakia, is going to be a Cannes Film Fest in Košice. So that's the April. For May, that's for May. For June, we are actually having the section in a well-established festival in Slovakia called Art Film Fest. And the B2 Cannes starter, which is Berlinale Venezia Cannes, is going to be in Košice. For summer, we are having a kind of the lazy time or open time. We are not doing anything. But in September, we are planning to have one special premiere. And in October, the B2 Cannes, Berlinale Venezia Cannes, our flagship in Czech Republic and Slovakia, I can actually say that the last year, 45, even close to 60 cinemas were part of this event in Czech Republic and Slovakia. This is one of the most important events. Even now, we are going to have a 4th edition already, and the logic is very simple. The winners and the competition films from Venezia, Berlinale, and Cannes, main competition only, are going to be presented in the traveling festival called B2 Cannes. But it's not just the mirroring, it's also the critical approach. Why this film is awarded, why that film is not awarded. So we are having such as, in a way, balanced relationship with the festivals. We are definitely accepting the winners and awarded films, but there is also the critical approach. That's the peculiarity of the B2 Cannes. For November, we are having a French Film Festival in Prague and in Czech Republic, so we are heavily cooperating with them. And in December, there is an Italian Film Festival in Czech Republic and in Slovakia. So basically, 4 or 5 months are not covered, the rest are covered. And let me repeat, all of those events are simultaneously in cinemas, on VOD, and in our own pay TV television. I believe it's very innovative. I believe it's also business viable. So we are having a self-sustainable model of attracting the audience widely, and that's our response to the changing environment of the film distribution in Europe and in the world. Basically, we have to really divide in between the very reality of the technical capacity of Europe and the world to do it, and the effects which are going to be inevitable effects on the previous environment. So the first, if there is a technical possibility, we cannot actually prevent these technical possibilities to coming to be a reality. So if the digital single market is possible via because of the media, because of the technical capacity of the world, if you wish, then it is going to be a reality at any level of our existence, including a distribution. So we cannot stop it. That's number one. But we can negotiate the conditions. And that's very different comparing to prevailing attitude of even a couple of my colleagues actually from the distribution level. So what I'm trying to say is that gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, we simply can't stop it, right? This is the fact. This is going to be a reality. If Europe in general is trying to unify the environment or the territory of Europe at any level, so it is just the next step for them, which means that the legislators or actually the politicians to actually put into this reality also the films or the media in general. But we are still capable to negotiate, at least on the territorial level, our role in this. And the very point is that even the big guys, namely Netflix and Amazon, or let me actually pinpoint Amazon, they are slowly but surely starting to understand that the local marketing is actually very important for the overall European or pan-European business. So the new reality, what I'm actually observing, is that whoever is having the all rights, it's going to be either us as a small distributors in the territories, or the big guys, because they are going to buy it or even produce it. They are going to have a relationship, a business relationship with the local distributors before they will put it on online, at least for some films or some products, in order to create an awareness of the product or of the films or whatever, just series as well, for their next business model. So we are here to do a job which could be monetized at the level of Amazon or the Netflix. And I believe that we are very close actually to strike this deal. And this is very important. Actually, the last year, the first indication of this were very, I would say, noticeable. That the Amazon, especially Amazon, they start to understand that the role of the distribution before they will put the product in their offer is important for the marketing. So there is the high chance that we can strike some deals based on that level, based on that logic. Obviously, it's very hard to say that we are having a voice, we are having big say in the process of legislation, we as a medium or the small size distributors. But I strongly believe that the legislators are already feeling this pressure, even not formalized or not actually presented in the very strong and understandable level. They feel the pressure, the audience, basically audience, they are lacking something which is based on the curating. The big guys, they cannot curate because they are big. They are not having a capacity for details. And they feel that the details are coming from the national territories or national distributors. And the legislation, slowly but surely, they see the room. They feel that they can actually manage a negotiation in between us, the locals, and them, the big guys, to find out the common ground. So legislations are not going to listen us unless the big guys will tell them that they should. But the point is that this is a nice paradox, that big guys all of a sudden realize that it's easier, cost-effective way to involve us as a small local distributors into the whole process. We cannot prevent this. The digital single market will be the reality no matter what. But from the marketing point of view, they need to find out a way how to curate the whole package of the films. Not by saying we have the capability to watch it, but by saying you should watch it because. And the big guys cannot say why, because they don't have a sense of details. We are having a sense for details. So there is a natural ground for the relationship, and it's going to be first understood on the business level, and then, I strongly believe, reflected in the legislations. So that's